When you have the power of the Warcraft 3 map editor, modders are never bound to a single game type. You can make anything you want within the confines of the engine. Eventually, you're going to have maps that don't fit into any category. Some of them explore new gameplay mechanics, and some of them try to do this and fail miserably. Some of them are amazing, and some of them are just plain stupid. We'll take a look at a few of them.
First, we have StarCraft Zone Control. It's an 8-player map similar to the Zone Control map from, you guessed it, StarCraft. There are 4 teams of 2 players in each corner of the map. You start with a single bunker that spawns a marine every few seconds. You can purchase upgrades for these marines, as well as a wraith that you can move onto an empty zone to create another bunker to spawn more marines. What differs from the original Zone Control from StarCraft is the varying upgrades and the ability to purchase a Goliath with special abilities. In each corner of the map, there is a mass attacker which allows you to order every marine you have on the map to attack move to a single location. Unfortunately, this map has a huge problem with its gameplay. The game basically comes down to the player who upgrades their shields first. Seriously, this is a game-breaking upgrade. The first upgrade allows marines to absorb 10 damage each, the second upgrade is at 55, and the third and final upgrade allows them to absorb a huge 100 damage. Whoever gets to this point first will have a significant advantage over other players. By the time other players get the same upgrade, that first player would have already upgraded everything else, such as range, attack speed, and damage, effectively nullifying the upgrade for everyone else. So with this in mind, there's really no choice as to what upgrades to get, despite having numerous upgrades to choose from. The map will seem fun for a while, at least until everyone figures out what to do. Then it becomes a race for a single upgrade. The winner will be determined within 3 to 4 minutes, with the rest of the game being a simple distraction from anything else you could be playing. Let's take a look at Tech Wars. It's a small team-based map, only supporting 6 players with 3 players on each team. The objective is to destroy the enemy command centers. You do this by making buildings that spawn units every few seconds. You can upgrade these buildings to spawn more powerful units. These are automatically sent to the enemy base and attack everything there. You have no control over these units, so all you do is put down the production buildings in your base. That's all there is to this game. Like with TDs, all you do is build. There are technologies in the middle of the map that you can gain by having your units pass through them. These technologies allow you to upgrade your buildings to produce units that utilize them. The biggest problem with the map is at the very beginning. If you build the wrong buildings when compared to the player opposite of you, it's impossible to recover from this, and you will lose within a couple of minutes into this game. Not a very noob-friendly map. Not a very balanced map either. You will be heavily relying on tanks to win the game for you. Gyrocopters, which are supposed to counter tanks, don't do a very good job of it. Instead of firing, they end up following them instead. This is an example of a map with good ideas, but these ideas were poorly executed. Overall, not a very good map, but a lot of these things are fixable. Uther Party 2. This is a map created in the same vein as the Mario Party games. This involves playing a series of minigames for points. Whoever has the most points at the end of the 8 minigames is the winner. The map explores many different game mechanics, such as pressing a key at the right time, moving to a certain location, skill testing questions, or just outright killing everyone in sight. In most cases, the minigame only takes up a single screen, so scrolling is irrelevant. The map approaches gameplay balance similar to how the Mario Party games approach balance in their minigames. Everyone has an equal opportunity to live or die. Each minigame lasts around 1 to 2 minutes, with the entire game usually taking 15 minutes. In place of human players, you can have the AI take control and play somewhat intelligently. You can also customize the options for each minigame with stock options, abilities, and goal settings. While not an extremely hardcore or competitive map, it's fun to play time and time again. It's the perfect map for small gatherings or even LAN parties. And unlike the Mario Party games, this map will not ruin friendships. Hopefully. Add this one to your maps folder. Don't move the Tauren.
Well done.
It sucks. Let's check out Footmen vs. Grunts. What can I say about this one? You have two sides. You have Footmen, and you have Grunts. The human team has access to human and night elf units, while the orc team can get orc and undead units. It's a fairly straightforward map. Research units to have them spawn at set intervals, upgrade them, and then destroy the enemy heart to win. The main feature of this map is massive amounts of units, but using these units effectively is what will determine the winner. There are custom heroes available at the center of the map which are much more expensive, but they can become more powerful than the standard heroes. It's a fun map to play, being able to control all of these units to flank and surround enemies, but it has a lot of problems. This is also one of those maps that ended up being unprotected, so now there's a lot of different versions of it, so let's talk about the similarities. First of all, a combination of fully upgraded Witch Doctors and Spirit Walkers will make your team unstoppable. When you're attacking, you cast Spirit Link on everything and lay down a bunch of stasis traps and healing wards. In a normal ladder game, it's easy to dispel or avoid, but on the massive scale of this map, it's virtually impossible to counter. Another thing, there's a circle of power at the back of your base. If one of your units enters this circle, all of your units will be ordered to attack the enemy base. In theory, it's a nice feature to have. Believe me, it's the stupidest thing about this map. There are times when you accidentally touch the circle, and you have to manually order all of your units to move back to your base before they all die. And on some versions, the collision between units is almost non-existent, so they'll end up bunching up when they attack. The problem with this is that the attacks and abilities with an area of effect is now significantly stronger since they can affect many more units. Let's just say there are so many things wrong with this map, yet I like it a lot. Very few maps allow you to control all of these units and still have unit micro giving you a worthwhile advantage, and since the map is unprotected, I ended up making my own version. Footmen vs. Grunts S3. I significantly changed the map, not just with the balance. I gave it a more open terrain to move around in, I reworked the towers, I changed how you heal in your base, I changed the items in the shops, I reworked the custom heroes, I fixed a lot of spelling errors in tooltips, and I did my best to give the map a more polished and professional look. Best of all, I got rid of that circle of power! In its place is a command tower where you can issue mass orders to your units: mass attack, mass defend, mass retreat, mass low HP retreat, and mass low mana retreat for your casters. I also implemented an income system where you can gain extra gold per second by turning off spawning of your units. You can also gain extra gold by having your units in the enemy base. This is to give players incentive to attack the enemy base rather than turtle in their own base all game. Instead of removing a player's units and buildings when they leave the game, you're now given control of these units instead. I also added the ability to play against the computer into the map, so now you can have a team playing against the AI as an alternative to playing against another player-controlled team. In my completely biased opinion, I have turned something horrible that I liked into something that's much more fun to play, so check it out.